Imagine finding your soulmate at 30,000 feet, only to spend the next decade keeping them firmly in the friend zone. That is the maddening, beautiful, and chaotic reality for Molly Kinsella and Andrew Fitzpatrick. It all started 10 years ago on a flight from Chicago to Dublin. Molly, a stressed out college student, was fleeing a toxic friendship, and Andrew, a Christmas loving ray of sunshine, sat next to her. They bonded over bad airplane food and shared sarcasm, accidentally creating a tradition where they sit together on the same flight home for the holidays every single year. But here is the kicker. Despite the undeniable chemistry that we can all see from a mile away, they have never crossed that line. Not once. Until now. We meet Molly in the present day, and honestly, she is going through it. She is a lawyer in Chicago who is completely burnt out and questioning every life choice she has ever made, and dreading the holidays because she feels like a Grinch compared to the rest of the world. Then there is Andrew, a photographer who is basically a golden retriever in human form. He loves Christmas, wears terrible festive sweaters unironically, and has a smile that could melt a glacier. But there is a shadow over him this year. He is 2 months sober and nervous about facing his family without alcohol for the first time. The stakes are high because Andrew needs to get home to Ireland for his family traditions, and Molly needs to get home to support her pregnant twin sister, Zoe. But the universe decides to throw a massive wrench in the works. A blizzard hits Chicago, grounding all flights to Dublin. The chaos at the airport is palpable. People are crying, yelling, and sleeping on the floor. It looks like Christmas is canceled. But Molly, in a manic burst of determination to save Andrew's holiday, concocts the most unhinged travel plan I have ever heard. Since they can't fly east, she burns all her air miles to fly south. The plan? Chicago to Buenos Aires, Argentina, then to Paris, then a train to London, and finally a ferry to Ireland. It is expensive, exhausting, and completely irrational, which is exactly why we love it. Before they leave Chicago, there is a moment that changes everything. While waiting for a cab, a stranger heckles them to kiss under some mistletoe. Molly, purely out of spite and frustration, grabs Andrew and kisses him. And guys, this isn't a friendly peck. It is a soul-shaking, earth-moving kiss that leaves both of them reeling. Molly immediately freaks out, terrified she has ruined their 10-year friendship, and retreats into her shell. Andrew, however, plays it cool, but you can tell the gears are turning. He suggests they kiss again later for science, just to prove it was a fluke. Spoiler alert, it wasn't a fluke. As they travel across the globe, the forced proximity forces them to confront their feelings. They lose luggage in Argentina, share intimate meals in Paris where Molly confesses she hates her job, and eventually crash with Andrew's eccentric cousin Oliver in London. In London, the tension snaps. They end up sharing a bed, and the air is thick with everything left unsaid. They start making out, finally, but get interrupted by Oliver before things can go further. It is frustrating but also hilarious, and it cements the fact that they are definitely past the point of no return. They finally make it to the ferry in Wales, and the scene on the deck is cinematic perfection. They scream Merry Christmas at the approaching Irish coast, wind whipping their hair, hand in hand. It feels like a victory lap, but the drama isn't over. As soon as they land in Dublin, Molly's sister Zoe goes into labor weeks early. In a massive green flag moment, Andrew stays at the hospital with Molly instead of rushing to his own family, proving she is his priority. Once the baby is born and safe, Molly impulsively decides to crash Andrew's family Christmas at their farm in the countryside because she can't bear to be apart from him. This is where things get real. Andrew's family is chaotic and loving, but there is tension regarding his sobriety until he bravely announces it at the dinner table. Molly supports him through it all, and later that night, huddled in a tiny single bed in a freezing farmhouse, they finally sleep together. It is tender, passionate, and feels like the culmination of a decade of longing. But the next morning, the other shoe drops. Andrew's brother, Christian, casually mentions that Andrew had been planning to move back to Ireland permanently, but changed his mind recently. Molly spirals. She realizes Andrew decided to stay in Chicago for her after they kissed. Terrified that she is the reason he is giving up his dream of moving home and convinced he will resent her later, she does the classic self-sabotage move. She tells him they need space and hitches a ride back to Dublin with Christian, leaving a heartbroken Andrew behind at the farm. It is devastating because we know he isn't staying for the geography. He is staying for the person who feels like home. Back in Dublin, Molly is miserable. It is snowing, a rare Christmas miracle in Ireland, but she can't enjoy it. Just as she is about to wallow forever, a car pulls up. It is Andrew. He drove through the snow to find her because he is done wasting time. He delivers a speech that deserves an award, listing every flight they took together and how he fell in love with her slowly over 10 years. He tells her that she isn't holding him back. She is his future. He wants to stay in Chicago because that is where she is. Molly finally drops her defenses, admitting she loves him too and wants to build a life with him. They kiss in the falling snow, surrounded by her neighbors and family, sealing the deal. Fast forward 1 year in the epilogue, and the payoff is sweet. Molly has quit her soul-sucking law job to run her own food tour business in Chicago. Andrew has moved in, and they are hosting both their chaotic families for Christmas. It is messy and loud, but they are together, proving that sometimes the longest way around really is the shortest way home. So, what do you think? Can a friendship truly survive a romance, or does it evolve into something even better? Let me know in the comments if you'd travel across the world for a crush, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this.